Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News, and wow, what a day we've had in the Valorant world. The major updates regarding 100 Thieves and what their roster might be going forwards. My voice is slightly better today. Hopefully it'll improve over the coming days as well. Thanks for all the kind words in the comments. I'll take some days off if I need to, but speaking in a video for like 8 minutes a day shouldn't be all that difficult. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Firstly, this Dreamers being benched officially from London, kind of a Lithuanian team. They didn't quite make it through into the playoffs in the EMEA side, right? They fell short. He's going to become a free agent, but many roster changes going on at the moment. This also, of course, with Fnatic, right? They are going to VCT Masters, but it's far from confirmed what team they will play with. We know that Dephh is certainly out and they'll need a substitute for him. Magnum's going to be there. Whether Turko can play, though, that is the big question mark right now. So fear is that he's there in business. This Alliance player, he's coming in instead of Dephh for this roster in Iceland. But of course, this team is most certainly hoping that Turko can test negative in time to get out there to actually bolster this team's chances at the event, because 2 subs without Turko, like, you don't really imagine they're going to make much of a run in that tournament, but who knows what's going to happen, to be honest. Masters is Masters, anything is possible. These are the 12 teams that are going to be there at the Masters then, so that of course the 3 from EMEA, Korea, North America, all this type of stuff. We've looked at this one over the coming days, but the bracket yesterday was officially revealed for the way these teams are going to match up when the tournament does indeed begin. So VCT confirmed yesterday, these are the groups, Group A, Group B. The way this worked is the top 4 seeds from the kind of the situation right here. So G2 then number 1 seed from EMEA. They also the Guard number 1 seed from North America. PaperX and Loud. These 4 teams get a bye through to the top 8 brackets, kind of where FPX would have been, given they were the number 1 seed from EMEA, and therefore these teams guaranteed, I believe, minimum 200 circuit points and whatever prize money is associated with that. But of course, they can make a further run. They get a guaranteed top 8. They get a guaranteed bye. The other 8 teams have to fight out for 4 remaining spots in that final double elimination playoff type bracket. This then are the groups that have gone down. So Fnatic, NIP in Group A, DRX versus Zeta Division in Group A as well. So very interesting games. DRX Zeta Division, that's going to be a crazy exciting one, but also Fnatic NIP, right? Kind of the second team from Brazil in NIP, but who knows what happens with Fnatic. If Turko's not there, probably NIP are slight favourites into that one. Really tough to call. It's crazy that you don't really get to see any matches between these 2 teams for months at a time, like, until you get to one of these international lands, and then you have to figure out which region actually is stronger. Definitely creates a very exciting precedent. So Group A, very interesting. Group B, to me, if anything, more so, because Optic versus Xerxia is a fantastic game, because this, of course, the former X10 Crit team. They no longer have Patafan, I believe. I think he went back to play Overwatch or something. And the way that Optic have been playing lately, probably they should be favourites here, but of course they were called Envy, and Xerxia were called X10 Crit. When X10 Crit, I think they knocked them out of Champions, or at least beat them at one point or another. So very interesting game. They kind of want to get their revenge on them. And then Crew versus Team Liquid. That's also a really tough one to call, to be honest. Liquid may be slight favourites, but Crew is certainly not a team you want to count out. So only 2 out of these 4 teams in each group will make it through, and then they will be seeded into a pretty sure randomly selected bracket type thing for the playoffs, with the other 4 teams that are guaranteed the bye all the way through. So you probably do want the bye, all things considered, because some of these groups are certainly not going to be too easy to get through. Speaking of Masters, this from Jovi, former analyst for 100 Thieves. I believe he was on their team for a time. I think he was actually became their head coach very briefly before they brought in Sean and DDK, of course, not too long ago. It's not April Fool's anymore, he says. Going to be assisting Chet and the Optic boys for Iceland. Excited for this opportunity. Let's bring the trophy back to NA with the boys in green. So pretty cool stuff. I'm really happy for the guy. I'm pretty sure it's on like a trial basis where they're just going to try him out. If he adds a lot to the team and actually helps them, they'll keep him on full time. So interesting stuff. But speaking, of course, of roster changes and team changes in general, we have to discuss 100 Thieves. A major article comes out last night from George Geddes describing what 100 Thieves might decide to do with their Valorant roster going forwards. It was very clear that JC Starney wasn't part of their future plans. Hiko said on stream, I believe, that like he's super confident in Sean and DDK, they're going to make the right calls. People were wondering when he said that, is he going to still be part of the team? Because we've heard for quite some time that he may have kind of been on Last Chance Saloon. This might be it for Hiko if this iteration of 100 Thieves doesn't work out. Of course, that iteration of 100 Thieves didn't work out in Challenger Stage 1. Sean Gez and DDK come through. They decide seemingly to go this direction with the team. Asuna, obviously, you want to retain. Bang as well, apparently they're very impressed with when he came into the roster, kind of like young upcoming talent, makes sense to keep. Derek and Wardell seemingly coming through. Derek deal nearing completion, formerly of the Rise Nation team that exploded really not too long ago. Then Ethan's status being unknown, and Hiko likely on the way out, it seems. So very interesting stuff. Very tough to predict exactly how this will go going forwards, but this seems to be the way it's planning, because obviously Ethan was the IGL for this roster, but clearly maybe he didn't do all that well in that role, doesn't feel comfortable in that role, neutral, therefore they need some sort of IGL. Derek's coming through from Rise. Wardell's not going to be an IGL. What do you do with this team? But yes, Derek in from Rise and Hiko out seems rather likely right now. Asuna and Bang going to be retained. Ethan's future remains unknown. Whether he'll be there or not, who knows. Hiko will likely depart from the starting roster. Now, the Wardell move also no longer guaranteed to go through. We thought it makes perfect sense, right? Him coming in as the jet op for this team, but maybe they don't want to go down that route after all and want to try a different player on that role. They've obviously got a fair bit of time to figure it out. I think it's pretty much the start of May when the next round of qualifiers begin for stage 2, so there's quite some time, but there's still supposedly Wardell's potential transfer has subsided, rumours of that. If he cannot find an adequate team, he'll likely move to content creation full time, according to one source. So very interesting. Wardell to 100 Thieves may no longer be on the table, and of course Derek seemingly is going to come through as well. Will likely slot into the roster alongside Bang and Asuna. So right now, Derek, Bang and Asuna, probably the 3 players in the new core. Then they have to figure out what they do around that. Is Wardell going to be there? Is Hiko going to be there? Is Ethan going to be there? They can't all be there, right? So decisions have to be made, but the likelihood is right now, Wardell and Ethan kind of being unknown, but Hiko, they reckon, the sources say he's probably going to be on his way out. That might be full-time content creation for him as well. He was kind of doing this yesterday, or at least, well, there's some tourney coming up today that he's going to be playing on the Fortnite side, right? So you do wonder whether this is the start of the kind of full-time content creation for journey for Hiko, and whether it's his time has kind of come within this roster. But definitely you guys can give your perspective on that one in the comment section below. Ethan says answering specific questions with vague answers. He doesn't want to give all that much away. Maybe he'll still be part of the team, maybe he won't. I'd imagine he probably will and should be, but still, who knows what DDK and Gen.G decide to do. I think they're probably making seemingly rather intelligent decisions right now. We've got to talk TSM as well though, because of course Wardell no longer on this team. Also, they got rid of Elgato a few days ago. Who are they going to bring in instead? Seven and GMD of Gen.G and T1 and Gen.G respectively might be the ones stepping into the lineup. Seven, of course, kind of made sense. He subbed in for them a couple of weeks ago in place of Wardell and did very well. And GMD maybe instead of Elgato is the way they're going to go as well. So they're up 4-0 right here. Clearly this team's going to be dominant. A couple of crazy things to finish up the video here with actually. This from George Getters last night. Riot Games has submitted to what they call an oversight as a male player was allowed to compete in a GameChangers match. GameChangers, of course, the kind of female division, pro league type stuff going on. Female only tournament hosted by Riot. They allowed it in an effort to avoid delays. So effectively, one player just straight up did not wake up in time for their match. And given this situation, the options were, I suppose, for Riot and the tournament organizers, do we wait for her to wake up or get an emergency substitute in like another female player, or do we just let the coach play, of course being a male player? This violates the rules. Kind of surprising they would even let them do this, because surely it goes against the whole idea of what GameChangers is meant to be. But apparently one of the team members slept through. They played first map 4v5, made the other team wait while they sent someone to check on her before subbing in with their male coach. So honestly, kind of incredible stuff. It violates at least 3 of the GameChangers rules it was described. So some of the rules right here basically saying like all players on the team's roster must be female players. So I don't necessarily think it reflects too badly on the team itself. Like, I guess they were just doing what they could do, but I don't really understand why Riot and the tournament organizers okayed this, given that's kind of the whole point. So kind of some drama on that front. Definitely intrigued to your perspective on all this stuff in the comment section below. And just to finish out with this as well from Optic, yay. Of course, the Optic guys, a lot of players right now, a lot of teams right now are already out in Iceland, getting ready to go. As he says, my Riot EU account got banned. Hell, that's the thing, right? Some of these guys, they get over there while they're usually playing from other regions and have issues playing as a result. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tell us your YouTube gods, it's a good video. Others like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
Optic, obviously, and then Crew and Liquid. It's a spicy one. Yeah, and Fnatic has 2 subs as well, yeah. I mean, if Turko plays, Fnatic will win. If Turko doesn't play, I'm going to go Nip. Nah, I think if they have 2 subs, though, I think if Fnatic has 2 subs, they lose. I think if Fnatic has 2 subs, they lose. So I'm gonna go if Fnatic has Durka and 1 sub, they win. If they have 2 subs, they lose. And then I'm gonna go DRX, Optic, and Liquid. Even though I think Crew could upset them. Or could beat them, I mean.
Come on. Don't peek, don't peek.
It's alright. Happens. I tried to line them all.
Oh yeah, Wawa? Yeah.
Switching sides.
Were you gonna give him a contract? Yeah, cut it up. Just cut it up. No reason. Just.
Oh.